8 innocent people were killed this morning, just steps away from the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Training Center, also the San Jose Police Department. The shooter then took his own life.
And in just the past 30 minutes, we have learned the names of all of the victims. This is the list that has just been put out by authorities in Santa Clara County. The victims range in age from just 29 years old to 63 years old. All of their lives cut short this morning at the Valley Transportation Authority maintenance facility in San Jose.
And it happened when this man, 57-year-old VTA worker, a maintenance worker, Samuel Cassidy, showed up and began shooting. KRON 4 has received this surveillance video. This is from a security camera at the home of one of Cassidy's neighbors across the street, and it shows Cassidy with at least one duffel bag getting into that white pickup truck. The video was time-stamped at 5:38 this morning, which is roughly an hour before the mass shooting.
Minutes after the shooting started, there were reports of this fire, which a neighbor also shot on cell phone. We later learned that this house belongs to the gunman, where you just saw him earlier outside with his truck. The video showed the fire in southeast San Jose on Angmar Court, that is near Los Lagos Golf Course.
And we have live KRON 4 team coverage from the heartbreak for families learning they lost loved ones to new details about the gunman. But we begin with a breakdown of the chaos that unfolded this morning. KRON 4's Taylor Bisacki is live at the VTA Railway in San Jose to get us started. Taylor?
Well, Catherine, this scene still remains very much active deep into that facility over there. Not only did authorities and law enforcement respond to this area while Sam Cassidy was still shooting, but they also detected explosive materials here. So as you can imagine, into the evening hours, they spent a majority of this day and also some more hours into this night. They've been clearing this large facility to make sure that it's safe for their investigators to get in there and start processing the scene. Chaos and carnage erupted in San Jose when a gunman, 57-year-old Samuel Cassidy, shot and killed 8 of his coworkers and critically injured another at the VTA rail yard around 6:30 Wednesday morning. County officials say Cassidy began shooting after a morning union meeting where 40 other employees were present. The Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office and San Jose Police immediately responded.
First teams through the door were the Sheriff's Office and San Jose Police Department. And they're my true heroes. There was active shooting going on at that time. There were victims shot in 2 separate buildings.
Santa Clara County Sheriff Lori Smith says once Cassidy realized law enforcement arrived, he turned the gun on himself and took his own life. She says deputies did not exchange gunfire. In addition to the shooting, the sheriff's office detected explosive materials at the rail yard, but say there is no danger to the public.
We actually had an explosives dog on scene, which detected to some type of explosives material at the crime scene itself. At that point, we activated the Sheriff's Office bomb squad, who is currently on scene and render any type of suspicious packaging safe at that point. I'll tell you, it's going to take a long time to render these areas safe. They have to go through every room and every building to ensure that everything is safe.
In addition to this VTA rail yard shooting location, local, state, and federal authorities are investigating a second scene less than 10 miles away at the 1100 block of Angmar Court. That's where Cassidy lived. He's suspected of also setting his house on fire sometime before the shooting. Well, still a lot of missing pieces to this tragic story, tonight here. You know, we still don't understand a motive for what happened or what started this shooting, and at least we are starting to learn more about the victims so some family members can get more of that information that they have desperately wanted and needed all day today. Ken, Catherine?
Taylor, real quick, I know you're some distance away from what's going on over there. Is there anything you can see from where you are? Because a lot of this activity is taking place inside that maintenance facility. Is that correct?
That's correct, Ken. You know, we can't really see much. We have a lot of, when I say we, I mean the media, we've been pushed back, and I think it was because of that initial detection of the explosive materials. So we've been far ways back, but around this area, you know, we've explained today that there are a lot of county buildings and the entrances are still blocked off. There's still some red tape in this area that you can see behind me blocked off. So this has really kind of been our budding point of where we can go, and we can't get any closer, but we do know, as I mentioned, that it's still very active. active, and they are still starting to probably process that scene, because for a majority of the day, as mentioned, they had to clear that area because of those explosive materials.
Yeah, and we can see traffic driving by behind you, so obviously the road in that area is still open, which is a good sign. All right, Taylor Pasaki, live in San Jose. Thank you, Taylor.
In honor of the people killed today, the White House has lowered its flags to half staff. All military posts, public buildings, public grounds have been instructed to do the same thing. President Biden calling the attack a horrific tragedy. Vice President and Bay Area native Kamala Harris sent her condolences to the families and the friends of the people killed.
The shooting in San Jose the facts are still revealing themselves, but it is absolutely tragic. It's absolutely tragic. I have family that live in San Jose. I've worked for many, many years with the mayor of San Jose and that police department. And my prayers and my thoughts are with all of those families that have been affected.
Santa Clara County officials have opened a family assistance center at the American Red Cross in San Jose. It's for those who are affected by the tragic mass shooting at the VTA light rail yard. KRON 4's Amanda Harry shows us.
We're told 8 or 9 families have been here throughout the day using these services. Some know that their family member was a victim of this tragedy. Others say their family member is still missing.
This morning, all of us woke up to a new nightmare.
Santa Clara District Attorney Jeff Rosen was noticeably upset as he spoke about the mass shooting at the VTA light rail yard, even sending a message to families affected.
I'm so sorry for your loss, and may God comfort you.
DA Rosen announced this new family assistance center at the American Red Cross in San Jose. He says they're prepared to offer services over the next several days. He says they want to do everything they can to support the victims and their families.
We're just here together to help each other right now.
Bhagat Singh spent part of the day at the center. He drove to San Jose from the Central Valley. He says his cousin works at the VTA and they haven't heard from him. Singh says everyone has tried calling his cousin's phone.
Not our state going to this ringing. That means his phone is on, but still it's showing in the building.
They know it's still in the building because of a location tracking feature. The family talked to DA Rosen as they waited.
I'm just so sorry.
DA Rosen says they're doing everything that they can to figure out if there's anything they could have done to prevent this and try to prevent future tragedies.
To remove dangerous weapons out of the hands of dangerous people through gun violence restraining orders, or what are known as red flag laws.
The center will be open from 11 until 7 Thursday and Friday. The DA does anticipate it being needed into next week. In San Jose, Amanda Harry, KRON 4 News.
This is the 15th mass killing in 2021, a database compiled by the Associated Press. USA Today, Northeastern University has tracked every mass killing over the last 15 years. All 15 this year have been shootings. A total of 86 people have died. That's compared to 106 people who died in mass shootings in all of last year. A mass killing being defined here as at least 4 people dead, not including the shooter. Tonight, we are hearing from the attorney for an ex-girlfriend of the gunman, and she is describing her relationship with Sam Cassidy as challenging and describing him as a man with mood swings.
She said she never saw guns in the house, and despite their relationship, she says she was shocked to hear what happened this morning. KRON 4's Michelle Kingston live for us outside Cassidy's home to continue our team coverage with some interesting information from this ex-wife, Michelle, ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, well, we actually have information from the ex-girlfriend, the ex-wife, as well as a neighbor. The neighbor told us that he was an unfriendly person, that he was a scary person. He shared chilling video with us today of Cassidy leaving his home this morning. This is video of Sam Cassidy, the 57-year-old gunman who shot and killed 8 of his co-workers at the Valley Transportation Authority. This is video from 5:40 this morning before the mass shooting. You can see him holding a large duffel bag and getting into his white truck just outside of his San Jose home.
I was scared him. He looks scary though. He doesn't say anything. He's kind of quiet.
The surveillance video comes from Doug Sue, a man who has lived across from Sam Cassidy for years. Sue says Cassidy lived alone and that he never saw friends or family around.
He never talked to me, say hi. He's kind of staring at me all the time. He never say hi. He just don't say anything. Kind of scary him. He looked like a scared person.
About an hour after Cassidy left his home this morning, his house went up in flames. This video, also taken by Sue, shows the thick black smoke billowing out from the home on Angmar Court, just off of East Capitol Expressway. KRON 4 is also learning more about Cassidy tonight. His ex-wife said he had a bad temper and that he would tell her how he wanted to kill people at work. She said he had been treated for depression. They divorced in 2005. Robert Cummings, an attorney who represents a former girlfriend of Cassidy's, says his client witnessed mood swings and said he was bipolar. After dating for 2 months, Cassidy proposed to this woman. She said no because it was too fast. That is when the attorney says his client began to witness odd things happening with Cassidy. This was in 2009.
Things became challenging. There was definitely issues of forced sexual contact and other things to that effect. She felt that he was bipolar. She felt that his moods ran hot and cold.
Now, both women say that they have not spoken to Cassidy since their relationships ended. They both said that they were surprised to hear what happened this morning. Live in San Jose tonight, Michelle Kingston, KRON 4 News.